What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Alliance War video. This is Ardenal 7. We have a nice big war today for Season 48, War number 5. LVT has matched C.A.V. I am bringing Apocalypse, Symbiote Supreme, and Omega Sentinel, and I am taking Path 8 in Section 1, Path 1 in Section 2, Gladiator on Node 41, America Chavez on Node 45, and Warlock on Node 47. Alright, first up I have Apocalypse versus Sauron on Node 8. That is the first fight on Path 8 in Section 1. I am running full suicides. I'm running the biggest boost I can. I've got mutant power boost on and a PS1 to start. So I am going to just try to get to my SP2 and rinse those where I can. I'm going to kind of slow play here at the start, trying to play around Sauron's prowess so I can force the SP1 right around the same time he's going to be unblockable, and then go in for the kill as soon as that unblockable is done. So here's the unblockable. I'm at my SP2. I'm trying to just bait the SP1 here, wait out that unblockable, and then I can go for the kill. One of the reasons I'm using suicides here is just to get the bleed immunity, which will come in handy later, but also it's just going to help me get back to another SP2 nice and quickly. So first, drop the first one, does great damage, able to throw the second one for the kill. So first fight in the bag. Next up is Symbiote Supreme versus Hyperion on Node 17, the second fight on Path 8 in Section 1. I swap over boosts, I take suicides off. I'm going to have to do that almost between every fight, swapping the class boosts and moving my masteries around just to be in the best position for each fight. I do use a PS1 here. Looking back, I kind of wish I didn't, just because this fight is really not difficult. Hyperion's not a tactic defender, and I am burning through PS1 boosts so far this season. But there we go. So I'm just going to kind of slow play, get to my SP3, and then the goal after the SP3 is just to get him into cycle, throw some SP2s, which will power drain, apply bleeds, and just kill him nice and quickly. So I'm just trying to build back to my SP2 here. He throws his SP2, and then I get mine off. So good damage, got some bleeds rolling, able to backdraft and throw another SP2 for the kill. Alright, into Section 2, I've got Path number 1. First up is Korg on Node 19. I'm using Apocalypse. I've swapped back over to full suicides, back over to mutant power boosts, and I am using a PS1 here. Another fight where maybe I don't need the PS1, I could slow play and build to an SP2 and just add some time here. But Korg cannot purify my stuns, so I'm just going to parry and throw some light attacks to remove his rock stacks, get to my SP2 and drop it. I threw on, I think, just 150 mutant boost here, so I don't quite get back to my SP2, but not a big deal. There's really not a lot of danger in this fight as long as I'm playing around the rock stacks and being smart about dropping SP2s. So here's the next SP2, and I think this one kills him. Yes, it does. So nice and easy. Alright, next up I have Dust on Node 28, and I will be taking her with Omega Sentinel, swapping over to Tech Power Boosts. I am still running full suicides, and I still have the PS1 from the previous fight. So I do apply the heal block pre-fight so that my medium attacks can apply a heal block, and I'm just going to try to keep that paused just to make sure that I have a heal block up for this whole fight. Other than that, I want to bait and dex her SP1s. If I need to take them into block, not a big deal. You know, I'd considered going to an SP3, but I figured just drop the SP2, get some plasmas rolling here, get the damage going. So she throws another SP1, which I will bait, and then I'm just going to build back up to another SP2. I need to reapply my heal block, which just fell off there. It's a little hard to keep that paused all the time. You cannot parry her light attacks, you can only parry her mediums, so I need her to dash into me to be able to get a parry, otherwise I have to try to get intercepts, which I didn't want to have to do. Just trying to play this as safe as possible. So there we go, nice big amount of plasmas there with 7, and just drop an SP1 to finish the fight. All right, on to the hard stuff, some mini bosses and some tactic defenders. So first up is Gladiator on node 41. I'll be using Symbiote Supreme. I take Suicides off, swap over to Mystic Power Boosts, and I am using a PS1. Ideally here, I want him to throw 0 special attacks and just get into my cycle. So the PS1 helps me get power pretty quickly. I'm also able to stagger a bunch of his debuffs. So we're just trying to, not leave a ton of openings for him to throw specials, trying to keep the indestructible passives under control by parrying a lot. If I have an opportunity to hit into his block, I'll do so, but I just parry a bunch at the start and slow play into that first SP3. For some reason, he shoots to an SP3 here. I didn't think he had enough power for that, but no big deal. Symbiote Supreme, after his own SP3, when he's got the blue stage thing that he's got, he takes way reduced damage from the SP3. So I can tank SP3s a bunch this fight, not a problem at all. Unfortunately, he does throw another SP1 there, but I did have a stagger up to stop the Unstoppable. It pushes me back to an SP3. In a perfect fight here, I would have been able to cycle SP2s after my first SP3. It didn't quite work out that way. He was able to throw a couple specials. But this fight is still wholly in control. Just watching my prowesses on the Indestructibles. Unfortunately, I ate a combo there, but the SP2 kills him. All right, next up, I've got America Chavez on node 45. I will be using Apocalypse. A teammate in my BG gave me an Odin pre-fight here to deal with the shocks from the Hazard Shift, and I will be bleed immune from Suicides previously. I do have Suicides on and back to Mutant Power Boost. And the plan here is also I'm using an Invulnerability Boost. Just in case I can just try to push her to an SP3 or something and tank it. But again, just kind of trying to slow play, throw some heavies to maintain space on this. Ideally, I'm able to just get her to throw SP1s, but I don't want to be dexing a bunch and feeding her power. I really don't like fighting America Chavez. Her AI can just be super weird, and her throwing heavies into the air. It's just not my favorite fight by any means. But we get quickly to the SP2, able to throw it, get a bunch of power back. She throws an SP2, which I'll just take into block. It did a fair amount of damage through my block, but I'm still definitely have control of this fight. Throw a striker and drop another SP2 for the kill. Not so bad. Her AI was nice and easy that time. All right, my last fight this war is Adam Warlock on node 47 with Symbiote Supreme. This is my 7th fight this war. I took this fight last war number 4. The only difference between that and this time is that I will not have the Mordo synergy to get an extra bar of power. So I know that it's going to take a little bit longer for me to get to my SP3. That means that I need to be even more careful with the tactic, just getting lots of parries in. Ideally, he's not going to throw any specials, but because it's going to take longer for me to get to my SP3, I may have to bait a couple specials. He does have power reserve, which means he's going to keep half of his power after he throws a special. So we're almost there. Just trying to get to my SP3. Unfortunately, he does throw the SP1. And now I'm going to be at my SP3 here shortly, and I am just spamming the button as soon as it goes. And for some reason, it's just not going off. And then he gets to an SP2 and throws it. I don't know how I was missing that button, but because I'm sitting there spamming the SP3, I'm not dexing. So I do take that full SP2, which does a good chunk of damage. But we do get the SP3 off, which means that this fight should be in my control now. I can get him into cycle. So SP3 goes off. Just waiting out his unblockable there. Now just trying to find an opportunity to hit into him. Unfortunately, I'm faltered. My blessings are just ticking down here. Not going perfect, but I am able to drop an SP2 with some power drain. All good stuff there. And now I need to throw another SP3 to get all 3 blessings back. So we drop the SP3, and then coming out of this, now we just want to keep him in cycle. A couple SP2s in a row, and he should be dead. So coming out of SP3, blessings back up. Just going to try to find a parry, but he throws a heavy, which I will punish. Get a nice little intercept there and drop an SP2. Unfortunately, he does go into stasis there. I'm just going to drop another SP2 for the kill. So a little shaky, but we get out of there. And I have myself a good war. 7 fights, 0 deaths, happy to get out of this one, and that puts my total to 24-3 on the season. I need a couple of other more good wars like this to improve from the slow and poor start I've had here in season 48.